Sometimes the loudest message you'll ever hear is silence. When someone leaves your life, don't chase, don't beg, don't plead, because silence is not rejection. It's redirection, and trust me on this, never text them again. Silence is often misunderstood. People mistake it for surrender, for weakness, for a lack of courage. But the truth is, silence can be one of the loudest and most powerful responses you will ever give. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. When someone disrespects you, when someone chooses to leave, when someone tests your worth, silence is the answer that does not need explanation. Because silence says, I value myself enough not to beg for your attention. I honor myself enough not to fight for a place where I am no longer wanted. Think about it. When you argue, when you plead, when you chase, you feed the very energy that is draining you. You give power to the wrong hand. But when you go silent, you take that power back. You no longer play their game. You no longer dance to their rhythm. Your silence shifts the weight, and suddenly they are left with the echo of their own choices. They are forced to face the reality of what they've lost, not through your words, but through your absence. That absence is powerful. That silence is undeniable. Silence also protects your dignity. Too often, we respond in the heat of emotion, texting back paragraphs, writing things we later regret, lowering ourselves just to be heard. But silence is self-control. Silence is emotional discipline. It's looking at your phone, feeling the urge to send that message, and saying, no, my peace is more important than their response. That kind of control is not weakness. It's strength at the highest level. It is the ability to walk away from noise and choose peace over chaos. But let me take this deeper: silence is also wisdom. Life has taught us that not every battle is worth fighting, not every word is worth speaking, and not every person is worth keeping. Silence gives you space to think, to breathe, to see things clearly. It allows you to rise above the immediate storm and look at the bigger picture. Because sometimes the more you speak, the more you lose. And the less you say, the more they hear. That's the paradox of silence. The quieter you are, the more powerful your presence becomes. Now understand this. Silence is not about bitterness or hatred. It's not about holding grudges. It's about respect for yourself and for the life you're building. By staying silent, you are not ignoring them, you are honoring yourself. You are saying, I refuse to give energy to what no longer deserves it. And that shift, when you no longer need to explain, no longer need to prove, no longer need to fight, is when true strength is born, because strength is not in how loud you can shout, but in how calmly you can stand. And here's the final truth about silence. It creates curiosity, it creates presence, and it creates impact. When you don't respond, when you don't explain, when you don't chase, you leave space for them to wonder. Silence makes people reflect on their own actions in ways words never could. And while they wonder, you grow. While they question, you heal. While they wait, you rise. That is the ultimate power of silence. It's not weakness, it's mastery. Mastery of self, mastery of emotions, mastery of destiny. Respect is not just about how others treat you. It's about how you treat yourself. And one of the greatest forms of self-respect is the ability to walk away from people, places, and situations that no longer serve your growth. Walking away does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you gave up. It means you were strong enough to choose yourself over disrespect. Too many people stay where they are not valued because they fear being alone. But let me tell you, The moment you decide that your worth is non-negotiable, you discover a freedom that cannot be taken away. Walking away is not loss, it's liberation. Think about it. Every time you beg for love, every time you chase validation, every time you hold on to what hurts, you send a silent message. I don't believe I deserve better. But the moment you walk away, you send a new message. I am worth more than this, and I will not settle. That decision changes everything, because when you demand respect through your actions, not your words, people notice. And more importantly, your spirit notices, your confidence grows, your peace deepens, your energy shifts. Respecting yourself enough to walk away is not just about them, it's about you. Walking away also teaches others how to treat you. See, people will only value you at the level you value yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, they'll keep giving it. If you answer every time they call, even after they've ignored you, they'll take you for granted. But when you walk away, when you show them you will not accept anything less than respect, they learn. Sometimes they learn too late, but they learn, and that's not your problem. Because the truth is, you were never meant to spend your life proving your worth to someone blind to it. You are meant to walk where you are appreciated, not tolerated. Now let's go deeper. Walking away is not just about people, it's about patterns. Sometimes the hardest person to walk away from is not someone else, but the version of yourself that allowed the disrespect, that tolerated the pain, that stayed too long. Respecting yourself means leaving behind the old habits, the old excuses, the old mindset that kept you stuck. It means saying, I will not betray myself anymore. I will not shrink myself just to fit in. I will not sacrifice my peace for temporary comfort. Walking away from the past version of yourself is the first step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. Respecting yourself enough to walk away is also about protecting your energy. Every minute you spend in the wrong place is a minute stolen from the right one. Every ounce of energy wasted on someone who does not see your value is energy that could have been invested in building your dreams. When you stay where you don't belong, you delay your blessings. But when you walk away, you make room. Room for new opportunities, new relationships, new growth. You cannot receive what's meant for you if your hands are still holding what's hurting you. Sometimes the door won't open until you close the old one. And here's the truth, you will be tested. Walking away is not easy. It takes courage to leave behind what's familiar, even when it's toxic. It takes strength to let go of someone you love but who does not respect you. It takes faith to believe that better is waiting, even when you can't see it yet. But every step away from what disrespects you is a step closer to what was always meant for you. And when you look back, you'll realize you didn't lose anything. You gained everything. You gained self-respect. You gained peace. You gained freedom. Walking away is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a stronger, wiser, more powerful you. There's a difference between pursuing what you deserve and chasing what does not want you. Pursuit is healthy. It's driven by purpose, clarity, and confidence. But chasing is desperation disguised as effort. And the more you chase people who run, the more you teach them that your value is negotiable. Let me tell you this, every time you beg for attention, every time you try to force someone to see your worth, you are not proving how much you care. You are proving how little you value yourself. Chasing lowers your value because it shifts power away from you and places it in the hands of someone who doesn't deserve it. When you chase, you send a silent message. I need you more than I need me. And that message kills your strength, kills your confidence, kills your dignity. Think about it. If you're constantly running after someone, you are showing them they don't have to give effort, because you'll always be there. And once they believe that, respect disappears, value disappears, love disappears, because nobody treasures what they did not have to earn. The harder you chase, the easier it is for them to take you for granted. That's why chasing lowers your value. It tells them you will accept less, and when you accept less, you always get less. Now let's flip this. Patience raises your value. Patience says, I am not in a hurry to be chosen because I already choose myself. Patience says, I will not lower my standards to match your inconsistency. Patience is strength disguised as stillness. See, when you are patient, you create space for the right people, the right opportunities, the right blessings to come to you. Patience is not laziness, it is confidence. Confidence that you don't have to force what's meant for you. Confidence that you don't have to beg for love or attention. Confidence that your value will be recognized in the right time by the right people. Patience also protects you from mistakes. When you chase, you settle. You accept anyone who gives you half their attention because you're afraid of being alone. But patience keeps you steady. It reminds you, I would rather wait for something real than waste my time on something fake. Patience teaches you discipline. It teaches you self-worth. It teaches you that love, respect, and loyalty are not things you run after. They are things you attract by being who you are and refusing to settle for less. And once you understand that, you stop chasing and you start choosing. Choosing yourself, choosing peace, choosing better. Let me give you this truth. People respect patience more than pressure. When you chase someone, they feel your desperation. But when you hold your ground, when you stand in silence, when you don't break under the temptation to beg, that's when they notice your strength. That's when they realize your value. Sometimes the greatest power you have is not to move, but to wait. To stand tall while the world expects you to crawl. To remain patient when everyone else is running in circles. That patience, that discipline, that refusal to chase, it commands respect without a single word. And here's the final piece. Patience always pays. Life has a way of rewarding those who wait with strength, with dignity, with faith. Chasing lowers your value because it shows you don't believe in yourself. Patience raises your value because it shows you do. Patience is magnetic. It draws to you the things and people aligned with your worth. And when you finally receive what you've been waiting for, you realize something powerful. It was never about what you were chasing. It was about who you were becoming while you waited. That's the lesson. Chasing lowers your value, patience raises it, and the choice is always yours. Too many people pause their lives waiting for someone to come back. They put their dreams on hold, their growth on hold, their happiness on hold, hoping that one day the person who walked away will return and make everything right again. But let me tell you a truth that can set you free. Your destiny is not tied to their return. Your future does not depend on who left. It depends on who stayed, and most importantly, on you. The path you're meant to walk was designed long before they came into your life, and it will continue long after they're gone. Their presence may have been a chapter, but they were never the whole story. When someone leaves, it feels like the world has ended. You replay conversations. You question your worth. You wonder what you could have done differently. But destiny doesn't work that way. Destiny is not fragile. It is not dependent. It is not limited to another person's decisions. If someone was truly meant to be part of your journey, nothing could have made them leave. And if they did leave, then understand this. They were not necessary for the future you are about to step into. Your destiny is bigger than their choices, stronger than their absence, and untouched by their rejection. You see, the problem is we think people are the source of our purpose. We think if they love us, we matter. If they accept us, we belong. If they choose us, we are enough. But purpose does not come from people. It comes from within. You were created with gifts, with talents, with dreams that have nothing to do with their approval. Whether they return or not, your destiny is already written. The opportunities meant for you will still arrive. The doors meant for you will still open. The blessings meant for you will still find you. No person, no rejection, no goodbye can erase what is already yours. Waiting for their return also delays your healing. When you anchor your hope on someone who left, you keep yourself stuck in yesterday. You replay memories, you reopen wounds, you sabotage your own growth. But when you finally accept that your destiny is independent of their decisions, you free yourself. You stop waiting by the door and start walking through new ones. You stop looking over your shoulder and start looking ahead. You stop asking, will they come back? And start declaring, I'm moving forward regardless. That shift is the key to unlocking your future. And here's something powerful. Sometimes their absence is the very thing that pushes you into your destiny. Their leaving may have broken your heart, but it also broke your limits. It forced you to stand on your own, to discover your strength, to grow in ways you never would have if they stayed. Pain has a way of shaping purpose. Loss has a way of redirecting you toward what really matters. So instead of mourning their departure, start honoring what it taught you. Because the truth is, they're eggs. It was not the end. It was the beginning of your transformation. Never forget this. The people who are meant for your destiny will never have to be chased, begged, or convinced. They will stand with you, grow with you, and build with you. So don't waste your time waiting for someone who has already shown you they don't see your worth. Your destiny doesn't depend on their return. It depends on your decision to move forward without them. And when you do, when you finally stop waiting, you'll realize that the life you were meant to live has been waiting on you all along. Healing is not found in holding on. Healing begins the moment you loosen your grip on what is already gone. Too many people think they can heal while still clinging to the memories, the messages, the photos, the what-ifs. But here's the truth. You cannot heal in the same place that broke you. Every time you replay the story, every time you scroll through old conversations, every time you dream about how it could have been, you reopen the wound. And a wound that is constantly reopened will never close. Healing doesn't begin with time. It begins with release. The moment you let go, your heart begins to breathe again. Letting go doesn't mean you forget, and it doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight. It means you choose not to carry the weight anymore. It means you accept that what happened cannot be changed, and holding on to it won't fix it. Think about it. If you're carrying a heavy bag and refuse to drop it, you will stay exhausted no matter where you go. But the moment you let it go, your strength returns, your pace quickens, your freedom comes back. That's what letting go does for the soul. It lightens the load, it frees the spirit, it creates space for peace to enter where pain once lived. Here's the hard truth. Letting go is not about them, it's about you. It's not about whether they deserved your love, your loyalty, your time. It's about whether you deserve peace, and you do. You deserve to wake up without the heaviness of yesterday. You deserve to move forward without carrying their shadow in your heart. You deserve to stop bleeding for someone who never bothered to bandage your wounds. Letting go is an act of self-love, a declaration that your healing matters more than their memory. It's saying, I will not allow the pain of the past to steal the joy of my future. But letting go is also about trust. trusting that life knows what it's doing. Sometimes we hold on because we think letting go means losing. But in reality, holding on is the real loss. When you cling to what has ended, you miss what's waiting. When you keep your fists closed around the past, your hands are too full to receive the blessings ahead. Trust that letting go is not the end, it's preparation for something greater. Trust that the pain was a teacher, not a prison. Trust that the same strength that carried you through heartbreak will carry you into healing. And here's something powerful. Letting go doesn't just heal your heart, it restores your identity. Because when you're stuck on someone who left, you forget who you are without them. You define yourself by their absence, their silence, their rejection. But when you let go, you begin to remember. You remember your strength, your dreams, your purpose. You stop asking, "Why didn't they love me?" and start asking, "Why did I ever doubt myself?" Letting go shifts the focus from them to you, and in that shift, healing becomes possible. Finally, understand this. Letting go is not a one-time act. It's a daily choice. Some days you'll feel the urge to go back, to reach out, to reopen the door. But healing is choosing, again and again, not to. It's choosing silence over begging, peace over pain, growth over regret. Each time you choose to let go, the wound closes a little more, the pain lessens a little more, the healing deepens a little more. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll wake up and realize the burden is gone. The wound has healed. The past no longer holds you. That day will come, but only if you let go. When someone leaves you, disrespects you, or doubts you, your first instinct might be to explain yourself, to send that long message, to prove them wrong with words. But here's the truth. Words rarely change minds, and messages rarely heal wounds. If anything, they keep you stuck in the cycle of seeking validation from someone who already showed you they don't value it. The real response, the only response that speaks louder than anything you could ever text, is your success. Not the kind of success you post to make them jealous, but the kind of success that builds silently, steadily, unshakably until it can't be ignored. See, when you argue back, you give them power. When you beg for answers, you hand over control. When you send that one more message, you show them you're still tied to them emotionally. But when you shift your energy from them to you, when you stop explaining and start building, you reclaim your power. Your silence says more than paragraphs ever could. And your growth proves more than any explanation. You don't need to convince them they lost something valuable. Your success will do that for you. Success doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It simply speaks for itself. Success is also the purest form of closure. Too often we think closure comes from someone else. An apology, a confession, a final conversation. But true closure comes when you no longer need them to explain why they hurt you, because you've outgrown the pain. Success gives you that closure. When you're building, growing, thriving, you stop caring about the why and start focusing on the what's next. What's next for your career, your dreams, your health, your happiness? You realize that the best revenge was never proving them wrong. It was proving yourself right, proving that you could rise even when they expected you to fall. Now let's go deeper. Success is healing disguised as progress. Every new goal you hit, every step forward you take, every piece of progress you make, it rebuilds you. It restores your confidence. It reminds you that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you never needed them to validate your worth. While they're stuck in the past, you're moving into the future. While they're wondering if you still care, you're showing the world you care about yourself enough to grow. And that growth is unstoppable because it doesn't depend on them. It depends only on you, and here's the thing. Success will always speak in ways words can't. People may ignore your messages, but they can't ignore your glow up. They can delete your texts, but they can't delete your progress. They can walk away from your life, but they can't walk away from the reality that you are thriving without them. The same people who doubted you will have to watch you rise. The same ones who underestimated you will have to face the truth. They lost someone who refused to stay down, and that realization doesn't come from your words, it comes from your results. Finally, understand this. Success is not about revenge, it's about redemption. It's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving to yourself that you are more than the pain, more than the rejection, more than the goodbye. Success is choosing to rise instead of reaching out. It's choosing to grow instead of chasing. It's choosing to build instead of beg. Every time you achieve something new, every time you level up, you write a louder, stronger, more undeniable message than any text could ever send. That's why the best response is not a message. It's your success. Because in the end, success is the story no one can interrupt, erase, or ignore. So hear me clearly. Life is too short to beg for what should be freely given. Too short to chase after those who walked away. Too short to waste your breath on people who never deserved your silence, let alone your words. You are not defined by who left you. You are defined by how you rise after they're gone. Silence is strength. Walking away is respect. Patience is power. Destiny is bigger than rejection. Healing begins with letting go. And success is the only response you'll ever need. So the next time your heart wants to reach out, the next time your mind tempts you to send that one more message, remember this truth. Your future is not in their hands, it's in yours. Your worth is not up for negotiation. And your best life begins the moment you stop looking backward and start moving forward. Never text them again. Trust me on this.